Sir, hello.
Yes,
Sir, our
Bhaskar.
thank you, sir. Our OPP is just around in the next week kind of thing, sir. What could be the
Yes,
maximum weightage kind of thing wherein we'll be eagerly, we'll be preparing for that one, sir, for our best.
I think the when you mean by weightage, do you mean a weekly weightage or
Overall, your idea about OPP two kind of things, sir. Wherein what are information that you can share to us.
yeah. So like see in OPP2, instead of having to solve 4 questions, you can just solve 3 questions. Okay, 3 questions out of the four, 3 questions out of four. Okay, so that is one thing. And then the syllabus is going to be until the it's going to be until week 9. Okay, so the syllabus is going to be until week 9. Okay, and yeah, so you can expect like two easy, one medium, and one hard question. Okay, so that's what, and you can expect questions from like all sorts of weeks. Okay, because after OPP1 was until week 6. So after OPP1, the week 7 was anyway the revision session, and then the so we have week 8, which is this recursion. Okay, so there was no, there were, I mean, the only bigger concept that was discussed is this file handling. Okay, so even if you're not able to solve much of this recursion problems, that's okay. Okay, you can at max expect only one recursion problem. Okay, so that too it will be in the hard category. Okay, so if you're not able to follow the recursion problem, so that's still all right. Okay, you can proceed. You can proceed without having to do the question problem. Okay, so you can still get the full marks. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have for this OPP2. Any other specific questions you have?
No, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, so in this session, we'll discuss the things. I'll just try once. Okay, for live streaming. It does not happen, then anyway the local recording is available. So that will upload later.
Sir, the same thing happened yesterday in stat session actually. So the instructor actually left the session, then joined the session and tried streaming. That did work actually.
And also the last 2 weeks sessions are also not there in the um, in site also, sir. I mean to say our website is there,
Yeah. So
YouTube
let
channel.
me try
Even
now.
there also we are not able to find it.
Okay, so the live stream is happening. Okay, great. So okay, okay, again it has formed. Anyway, we'll continue. Okay, so even without that live streaming on, we can continue because we'll upload that to later to YouTube. Okay, so yeah, so in this session we'll be discussing week 11. Okay, so we'll discuss the concepts that are there in week 11, and then if you have any further questions in week 11, okay, we can discuss that. And also since it's week 11, it is just functional programming and then the exception handling. We do not have any GRP or the PPA problems there, but we do have the graded assignment. Okay, so in this session itself, we'll try to cover the practice assignments as well. Okay, we'll cover the practice assignment, so that means we'll be able to cover the entire week 11 in this session itself. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Let me begin. Are you able to see my screen? Hello.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, sir. It's a vehicle, sir.
Okay. So the first and foremost thing that was discussed in this week 11 was this exception handling. Okay. So when we mean by exception handling, it's not the usual syntax error. Okay. So sometimes because it could be some file is missing, or else the some user may have done something wrong. Okay. So it's not the error with respect to the Python code itself. It could just be, we are not having a particular variable defined, or something like some normal this zero division error. Okay. Or this five not found error, like that. Okay. So all those can be taken care. So for example, when you have something like, a equals to 100, like b equals to, okay, let's just ask the user for it. Uh, we have a and b, and then you're doing this, it's equals to b divided by b. So, and then you have the column for print C. Okay. Here, I'm giving the value for a. Is can be like something like 10 and then 0. Okay. So when I use 0, you got the zero division error. Okay, division by 0. Okay. So which means here in this particular place, this b, since you have given the b value as 0, anything divided by 0, that's not defined. Okay. So that's why this zero division error came up. To solve for all these kinds of errors. Okay. So there is this one solution. We can always try this. You can always use this try except one. Okay. So there. So in this particular case, it should be including all those blocks, which could give, I mean, you should be enclosing all those lines which could cause an error. Okay. In this particular case, okay. So you're assuming that the user will give a and b correctly. Okay. The integer correctly. Okay. Then you're assuming that only this in the third line there could be the error. Okay. I mean, the user could be doing error. In that particular case, what you'll do is you'll enclose this, that c equals to a by b one in this try block. Okay. So whatever exceptions we are going to catch, okay, only when it is there within this try block, only then we can catch it. Okay. So in this particular case, we had the zero division error, right? So when we have the zero division error, okay. So for that specific error, okay, instead of giving this big message to user, which the user may not understand, we can just do this thing. Okay. So zero division error, we can just print, this particular case b value cannot be 0, like that, as zero division is not possible. Okay. So is this clear? Like now when I try to run it, okay, I'll give the same values, 10 and 0. Okay, 0. Okay. So we have here this b value cannot be 0 thing. Okay. And after that, since we are defining the C here, okay, C equals C by B here, and then we are asking to print C, okay, so there's a C is not defined error is came, so that is his name error. So that is the second type of error. Just give me C inputs 10 and 0, okay. Now we got this p value cannot be 0 as zero division is not possible, okay. Is this clear? What we just written until now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
Any questions here?
What is this try and accept? What do you call this as?
So that is
This is
kind
called
of
exception. So try and
Yes.
accept is this is the exception handling, or what
Yes,
do you call
yes.
it? Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah,
specific?
that is the exception handling part. So it's like, you know, you know that in this particular lines there could be the error. Okay, so there could be the error creeping. So that's why you use this try except block. Okay. So it's kind of like, you know, here what it basically says is when you have here, you know, when there is some error within this try block, then you know you're going to handle that particular piece of error. Okay, instead of the this I mean the Python compiler giving us the error. Okay, so we'll try to fix that error by ourselves. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do here. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a zero division error one, and then like there could be this other part. So except we have seen before, we have seen this name error. Okay, so we have seen name error. In the case of name error, you can print this, you know, variable undefined. Okay. So if you're trying to use a variable that's not defined, then you're going to get this error. For example, this particular case when you use D, right? Okay. So in this particular case, my compiler it's showing like D is not defined. Okay. But let's say even if you execute this, okay, and then let me show you here. I'll give you the valid inputs. This case, I'll give you 110. Okay. So the error won't be with respect to this fourth line. Okay, because A is valid, B is valid, A divided by B can be done. Okay, but then here this T is not defined. Okay, so in this particular case, when you execute it, okay, so it is showing you this thing. Okay, so variable is not defined error. I mean, it's not an error because you know we have written in this try except thing. Okay, so that could still run. All right. So this what we are basically done. So we just given it to the user that this particular variable is not defined. Okay, so the one which are trying to print, that variable is not defined. Okay, is it clear? Hello, is that clear until now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so then we have this we have like many kinds of error there. So it could be this file not found error also. Let me just do this. Open a file. So I don't have this file. So now if I have this within this block, okay, so it's going to throw me an error. Okay, if from this it asks me for input first. Let me just do some inputs. Okay, got this file not found error. Okay, no such file or directory random.txt. Okay, so that file is not there. Okay, so in this case, you know, in this particular folder, okay, so there is no this random.txt file. Okay, then instead of this, okay, now I'll just show you why we should be having all those all those lines which could cause an error within the block. Okay, so I'm writing now the file not found error. Okay, but then I'm not keeping this third line within the try block. Okay, so let me just show you this. Yeah, so there is some problem with respect to this live streaming one, so that's why we're not able to stream it. Yeah. Okay, so now we know that there could be this problem with respect to third line. Okay, so instead of having the third line it's within the try block. Okay, so we are having it outside. All right, let me just remove this error. Okay, now if I run it, okay, so I still got this file not found error. Okay, so I still got this file not found error because this whatever lines that could cause error, that could potentially cause error, they should be within this try block. Okay, within that block it should be there. All right, now if I run it, maybe this, okay, so now I got this thing. Okay, so file is not available in the mentioned folder. Okay, so you can even like go on like this actually. So you can even like mention it like,
So, sir, we need to put operation in try. Then when the error is come, then we might expect this.
yeah. Okay, so we can even like mention which file is missing also. Okay, so we can even mention like random.txt file is not available. Okay, so even that also you could do. Okay, so instead of mentioning a particular file is missing, you can just mention the file you are searching for, and then just even say that particular file itself is like missing. Okay, even here. Okay, so here itself you mentioned v value is not defined, and then like here something like you can mention, let's say like if you know that particular variable, right? So you can just mention d variable is not defined. Okay, so that you can do. All right, then so these are the different kinds of error, and then like we still have many types of error. Okay, so then for general purpose case, okay, for general purpose case, that is like when the error is not any of this, so that is this zero division error, name error, file not found error, or let's say like you have defined some 5 or 6 predefined errors. Okay, so and then like if the error is not any of them. Okay, so then you can actually then that particular error, that is like the general error part, so that particular case you can just mention that will come to this except block, so that is the last block. I just showcase that with an example. Error. For example, in this particular case, we have a c equals to I know that in this particular case c is an integer. Okay, but then I'm trying to append that. I'm trying to append C 10 to C. Okay, so generally the append happens for what? For list, right? Here C is not a list, but then still I'm trying to append. So in that particular case, whatever error you're going to get, that's not zero division error, that's not name error, that's not file not found error also. So that particular case, that particular error, it's going to come to this block. Okay, so this except block. So that is like any error other than these 3 errors. Okay, so that's going to come to this except block. Okay, now let me just run this and show you. Okay, so I'm doing 10. Okay, so about this some other error has occurred. So basically, it occurred like until this 5th line. Okay, so even in the try block it went smoothly. Just in the 6th line the error happened. Okay, so that's a issue there. Okay, but let me just to show you what the error is. Okay, I'll just paste it here. Okay. So you have your attribute error. Okay, so attribute error, what it means is like here when you have this float object, so that float object does not have this attribute called append. Okay, so append is not depend for this particular float object. Okay, so even if you want to include this attribute error, you can include that here. So we have here except attribute error. Okay, so you're doing some operation which that object does not allow, does not have a something. So this is what we have. So we even this okay, even for it to work, right? So it should be within this try block. Okay. Now let me just run this. Okay. We don't have this file, right? Okay, I'll come in this. Okay. So you could see here that even that attribute error also we're able to catch it, because we came to know that that error has happened. Okay, so you're doing some operation which that object, I mean, like you're doing this append here in this particular case, which is a float that does not have that object, that does not have that method. Okay, so that's why that error has occurred, and then like we are able to catch that error also. Let's say like if you have some other error apart from the zero division error, name error, file not found error, attribute error, then you're going to get this one. Okay, so print some other error. I mean, it's going to print it like some other error has occurred. Okay, until now is it clear? Until now is it okay?
Yeah, sir. It's clear.
Okay.
Is this exception action can only be a print statement, or can it be, we can say, for example,
you can do anything else. Okay, so you can do anything. So
if for example division by 0, can we use another non-zero number, and then we can make actions, those
can you
actions
repeat?
also.
Can you repeat?
In
Yeah.
case of division by 0, can we give use
Yeah,
another number?
yeah.
So for
Correct,
example,
correct. Actually, you can do. So, for example, here, so this is kind of like if else kind of thing. So we have here, b value cannot be 0 as zero division is not possible. So in this particular case, you can just set b to 1. Okay, so you can set b to 1 and then like define this c as a divided by b again. Okay, so you can still do this. All right, and then like for example, let's say like come here and then like print this c here. Okay, so you can still do that here. Okay, just
thank you.
pull this out. I mean, like I'll mention it here so that you know that it's happening. Okay, so let me run this. So I'm giving this 10 and 0. Okay, so b value cannot be 0 as region is not possible. And then like since I have set this b value as 1, now c became 10 by 1 10. Sorry. So and then like at the end it's printing this c value. Okay. So let's say like if you want to do something like for example in this particular case, so let's say this one. This file not found error, right? So we have this file not found error, right? Equals to open of random.txt. They're doing that in the read mode. Okay. So then if this file is not found, then what's going to happen? It's going to come to this file not found error. Then what I can do is I can actually create a file. So then in this particular case, f equals to open of the same file dot txt, comma. If I do it in the write mode or W mode, okay, so then even though that file is not there, so a new file is going to get created. Okay, so in this particular case, the file is not there. So since that file is not there, I'm creating a file with this particular name. Okay, is it clear? So let me just run this. In this particular case, I will not have this. I not go ahead with the zero division error. I'll give the valid inputs. So 10 and 9, something like that. So we have order. Okay, seated up and there. I'll remove that line also. 10, 9. Okay. So random.txt file is not available in the mentioned folder. So I have created it. Okay. So since I have created it, let me just open that particular folder, and then I'll show you to that I have created it. Okay. In a second. Okay, since I did not execute this, right? So let me just show you that folder. Okay, so where that file got created. Okay, now you could see here this random text document got created. Okay, all right. You're able to see this, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so actually this kinds of things you can do. So it's like let's say like a user is doing some mistake. Okay, and then you clearly know what that mistake is, and then when you clearly know what that mistake is, and then like you want to kind of like solve it. Like when I mean by solve it, so you want to create some dummy value like a default like default value to say for like p equals to 1. Okay, and then in this particular case, when that particular file is not there, you create that file. Okay, so you create that file so that you can use it for further operations. Okay, like that you can do. All right. Okay, so that is for this exception handling. Okay, so any questions in this exception handling? Any questions as such?
So just one question. I mean, the thing that you did in the except block when you did the write thing, I mean, when you opened a text file in write format, I mean, in writing mode, sorry, writing mode. So, sir, in that write mode, once it is created, I mean, sir, we need something after that to handle with that random.txt file. I mean, it's created in the except block since the exception got caught over there, and then
Yeah.
so sir, after that, so sir, that means this is the exception handling part I have done. Let's say it's somewhere in the middle of my code, like a big code. So after that, to deal with that, so let's say there are codes where I'm actually writing things to that file, so that would not stop actually. I mean, if we have anything dealing with that particular random.txt file, since you have opened it.
So that will not stop. Like, so what you're trying to say is, look, okay, now that we entered into this file not found error block, and then like we created a file, and then like later at some point in your code when you're trying to use that file, it's going to run. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
So that's the whole point, right? So I mean, like since we do not have that particular file already, we want to we want to create that particular file. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This file you just opened a folder where it is created.
Where that
Can
got
you show me
created.
the path?
Yes.
Can
Where
you
that got created.
Yeah, can you show it again?
Yes. Yeah, are you able to see here? This is the file. Okay.
if myself I am using the Replit,
Mhm.
so and I'm using Replit directly online on the browser. In
Mhm.
that case, it still creates a file in that.
Yeah, it's still going to create. Okay, so whichever folder you are there in, so it's going to create in that particular folder. Okay, clear?
It will be creating locally, or it will be in the server of the Replit.
Right. So it's going to create there itself in that particular. So okay, so in my particular case, since I'm doing it locally, it's going to generate it locally. So
Okay.
if you're doing there,
Program is local, then it will go to the documents, and then it
yeah.
creates. Yeah.
So basically, all it just looks is like my Python file is in this particular folder. Okay. So whatever TXT file I'm going to create, so that's going to get generated like within this folder itself. Okay.
Is it possible to specify the path
Yeah.
from
So
there?
even that is possible. You can just mention the whole entire
I can
path.
give the whole path,
Yeah.
irrespective of whether local path or
Right.
somewhere in other URL.
Yes.
I can give means a
Yes.
drive or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now let us continue. Okay. So the next part, which was discussed was this iterator part. Okay. So in the iterator, okay, so the main thing with this iterator is this. Instead of having to use the for block. So for example, when I have here a list of items, like let's say, so Dhoni, Sachin, Virat, and then say Rohit. Okay. And I will include some bowler also. Here come. Okay. So these are the players we have. Okay. So it is a list. Okay. So we want to get the elements of this particular list, but then we once we get a particular player. Okay, so we want to do something else. So when I mean by I want to get a particular player. Okay, so I don't want it like I just want that particular person. Okay, so and then like maybe at some point later I'll go for another person. Okay, so that is the next player. Okay, I do not want to use a for block because whatever I do, that won't be in a same manner for each and every player. Okay, so even before the, so it's like you got the idea, right? So instead of me having to look through each and every player. Okay, I want at this particular instance only Dhoni, okay, or Sachin or Virat. So and then like I will do something else, and then like when I want the next player, I want Rohit to come. Like if I'm at the Virat position right now, then I want to get this Rohit, and then like once I'm done with Rohit, I want to get Zaire. Okay, so in that particular case, you can be using this iterator. Okay, the players is like iterator. Okay, so we have iterator here, and then we have players. Okay, so we should be passing. Player is not defined. It's a list. Okay, so you should be passing up. You should be passing object that is iterable. So when I mean by iterable, in this particular case, the list is iterable. Okay, the tuple is iterable. Like that, it should be passing object that has to be true. Okay, so in this iter, okay, in the iter function, you should be passing the object which has to be true. Like it should be having elements that we can move from, like at this particular portion we are in this particular element, we have to move to the next like that. Okay, so the string is also iterable because it has the characters. We can start with one character, and then like slowly move to the next like that. Okay, so we can move to the next character also. Okay, so we have that, and then like the way you get that is like, so now we have defined this iterator. Okay, so if I want to get the first player, it's like player one. Okay, it's going to be this next of players. So then I might do something. Okay, like let's say like I'll do just something random. Find range of n. So pass. Okay, so I'm not doing anything here. I'm not writing anything within this block. And then like I can move to the next player. Okay. So player 2 equals next of players. So similarly, once I got this player 2, I need not go to player 3 again. So I can do whatever random stuff I want in between the player 2 and then the player 3. Okay. So before me going to the next player, I can do any sorts of stuff. Okay. So let me just print this player 1. Player 2. Okay, so just run this. Okay, I got here Dhoni and then Sachin. Okay, so those are the 2 players, and then like we can go for the next players also. Of here, players actually. Okay. So we got here Dhoni, Virat, each and every person. Okay, so the reason for using this iterator instead of using the for loop is just this. Okay, so if I want to do something, okay, with at that particular iteration, okay, so at that particular instance I can do, and then like at some point later, if I want, I can go to the next person. Okay, I can go to the next element of the list. If I do not want, then that's like totally fine. Okay. So what we have here, f dot read line, right? So when we are opening a file and then like when you're doing this f dot read line, that's exactly this one. So that is exactly what we are doing. I mean, like that's similar to what we are doing here. Okay. So that f dot read line, that's kind of like a pointer. Okay. So when you execute that, you are going to read a particular line, and then the pointer is going to go to the next line. Okay. So even here also it's happening the same thing. When you first call this next of players, okay, so at this particular instance, since you did not read any players, okay, so it is at this Dhoni. Okay, so since you read the Dhoni, I mean, like after this line 5 is executed, it is going to go to the next person. Okay, so the point is going to go to Sachin, and once you call Sachin also, then the point is going to go to Virat, then Rohit, then Zahir. Okay, so it's kind of like a pointer. That's kind of like making a note of where you are. Okay, so where you are, I mean, like at which particular iteration you are in. Okay, are you able to follow this?
Why in between we just we are having a for loop here in between?
See,
Without that,
yeah, without that also I can do. So the reason why I included that for block is, let's say I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm doing this print player 1. Okay, this is what I'm doing, and then like I'm doing this print player 2. Okay, so let me just comment this out. Okay. So you got your Dhoni, Sachin, Virat here. Okay, so instead of me doing this, okay, I mean, like instead of me using this iterator entirely, okay. So if I'm just going to print these players one by one, then what's the point in using the iterator? I can just directly do it like player in players. Yes, for player in L. Okay, I can print player, right?
yeah.
It's going to give me the same output. Okay, so the reason here in this particular case, the flexibility which you don't have is, After going to the first layer, you cannot be running the for loop just for that particular first layer. You do not have the flexibility. Okay, you do not have the flexibility with respect to the for loop. You have to go through the first layer until the last layer. You have to go through that. Okay, so but let's say when you are using this iterator, okay, so actually it's like, you know, you have the total freedom of like what you want to do at a particular instant. Okay, so you have a total freedom. All right, so that's what that's the reason, like, just to show you that you have the total freedom in between the iterations also. That's the reason I included this for block. I did not do anything there. Okay, if you want, you could do it also. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the iterator. Okay, and then, like, you know, we have this we are storing this LS Dhoni, Sachin, Virat Jair, right? So since you are going to use it for iterator, okay, instead of you creating this list directly, you can directly I mean, like, you can directly generate for using this for generate a list, okay, without having to specifically mention that, you know, you're creating list. Okay, so for first to pass on Dhoni, Sachin, Virat Jair to this iterator, you're creating list. Okay, so without creating list also we can do that. So that is by using the generator part. Okay, so there what we do is, okay, so for example, and I won't be giving anything there. Field Dhoni. Field Sachin. Then we have what, Virat. Okay. Here. Okay, so now second half player equals to. Now let me just do this. Okay, so you got Dhoni here. So here what we're done is, instead of me having to create a list, okay, so instead of me having to create a list and then like pass to this iterator, so what we can just do is we can use the seed function which does this generation part. Okay, so it actually generates this Dhoni, Sachin, Virat, Rohit, Zaher thing. Okay, and then, like, using that, you can that you can pass to the iterator. Okay, so and then using iterator, you can do what you had done previously also, like just, you know, go through each and every person. Okay, so instead of you having to create a list, you can do it this way also. Okay, so it's actually like, you know, it's exactly similar to what you have done that previous list thing. Okay, so instead of there whatever values you have, that is Dhoni, Sachin, Virat, Rohit, Zaher. Okay, so you're storing it in a list. Okay, so here you're not storing it as a list. Okay, so that's the only difference. Okay, you do not have to store as a list in this particular case. Okay, so in the previous case, you stored it as a list. Okay, is this part clear?
Where it will come to our use,
So
because we
like,
already have list.
yeah,
So this one where be of
the only
help.
difference is that when you're having list there. Okay, so there you are first storing it, and then like you're passing it to the iterator. Okay, in this particular case, you're not storing. Okay, so you're not storing this Dhoni, Sachin, Virat, Rohit, Zaher together. Okay, you're not storing it. You're directly generating it, and then like passing it to the iterator. Okay, so the only difference is, if you do not want to store it, okay, then you are going to use it in like this way. That's the only difference. Okay. I mean, there's the use case. When you talk about the use case, you can still perform whatever you have done there here. Okay, so you do not get anything more here. The only gain you have is that you do not have to create a list. That's the only thing. Okay, is it clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we have. We have with respect to this iterator, and then this generator one, the yield. So you need not have to expect any problems on this iterator and then the generator one. Okay, in the final exam. Okay, so that's what we have. Then the next part will be this the okay. Later what we have discussed, it is this functional programming, right? Okay, so in the functional programming, the first thing, the first few things that we have done is instead of having to write the if else block and then the while block, right? So you can actually do that in a single line. So for example, let's say like you want to okay. So a equals to int of input, and then now b equals to, you are asking from user, okay, input, okay, and then you have this new variable, okay, c equals 0. You want this c to be the one which is maximum of a and b. So generally how we do it, if a is greater than or equals to b, then c equals to a, else c equals to b, right? So this is how we do it generally. Okay, so this works like this. Run this. I'm going to give a value as something like 1000 and b value as 1001. Okay, so now the c value came out to be 1001. Okay, just for the small min-max case, we have to run, we are write this much length of code. Okay, but instead of this, we can direct like this: c equals to a if a is greater than b, else b. So here also we are doing this if else block, the same thing. Okay, what we are mentioning is c. I will take it as a if a is greater than b. Okay, if a is not greater than b, then c value is going to be equals to b. Okay, so that's what we have just written there. That's what the code means. Okay, so in this particular case, let me just do 1000. I'm giving the same inputs. Okay, go to same output there. Okay, so instead of me having to write that big code, okay, so I can do it in this way. Okay, this. I mean, like here you're not doing anything extra here. The only thing is when what you have to do is like simple if else block. Then instead of you having to write many lines of code, you can just write that in a single line itself. Okay, so that's the only thing you're going to think. Okay, is this part clear? Okay, then,
Yes, sir.
okay, then we have something called list comprehension. Okay, so that is like you want to generate a list of the first 10, let's say like the first 10 natural numbers. Okay, so when I'm in my natural number, you can either think of it like, I mean, with respect to the CT course, the natural number starts on 0, right? So you can either way it's fine. Okay, so it's just create a list of 10 first 10 natural numbers. Yeah, this lecture, the live stream is not happening. Okay, so yeah, the live stream is not happening. Okay, so we cannot share that particular link. What I can do is I can upload this and then share the link with you guys. Okay, we'll upload this later and then I'll share the link. Okay, So when in this particular case, the usual way is you'll have some empty list. Okay. The usual way you do it is you create an empty list and then like find range of 10. Okay. You do this L dot append. So this is what you do. Now if you print L, I'm going to get this 0 to 9. Okay, so the 0 to 9, those are the first 10 natural numbers. Okay, so now I can actually do this in a single line itself. Okay, so L equals to I for I in range of 10. Okay, so I can do that. So and then the result I got is same. Okay, or else let's say like you want the first 10 even numbers. Okay, even natural numbers. Okay, so you can get this like this 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so here all you're done is like, I mean, instead of you mentioning there L dot append of I star 2, you're just directly doing it here. I star 2 for I in range of 10. Okay, so this is going to give you the list directly. This is called as this list comprehension. Okay, so you can do it like in many ways. Okay, so actually let's say like you do it in another way. For example, I for I in range of 10, and then like you want to append only when I is only when I is even number. So if I in range of 10 you mentioned, and then like you are mentioning a condition here. What is your condition? Your condition is that I has to be even number. Okay, so if I divided by 2, that the remainder with respect to 2, if it is equal to 0. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, I'm mentioning this for I in range of 10 only. Ideally, if this case is not there, it's going to generate me 0 to 9 numbers. Okay, but now let me run this. I just create it has just generated 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 because only 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 they satisfy this condition if I percentage 2 equals 0. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what we have in this functional programming. Okay, the list comprehension one. Okay, so then what did we miss? Okay, yeah, so then we have another case like, okay, it's the same list.
Is it possible to enable help menu or help so that when we start typing, these things comes on its own?
It is even in the portal, or where do you want this help menu?
It should be for everything, because this is just the coding here.
Yeah, so actually all the compilers which we use, the Replit which I'm using currently, this VS Code, each and everything they have the suggestions thing. Okay, so while you're actually typing itself, you get the suggestions, and then if there is some error also, it's going to highlight. I mean that particular line is going to get highlighted. Even before you executing also, it's going to say that there is an error. That is there. Okay, but this provision is not there in our portal. Okay, so that is not there. Okay.
Is there any plans to do that, or it's never going to be
So
there?
like there are plans. Okay, so there are plans, but in the near future it may not be possible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now the next concept which we'll discuss is the enumerate. Okay, so in the enumerate, what's going to happen is you have your I power 4, right? So what it's going to do, 0 power 4, 1 power 4, 2 power 4, and so on, 9 power 4. Okay, so that's going to the list here. Now for I in range of len of L. Okay. So if you want to get the index, it is you can just like look through this, right? And then if you want to get the element at this particular index, how do you do? You do this I comma. If you want to print both, that is the index as well as the element at that particular index, you do this, right? Okay. So, but then since this is I like after this, let's say like I do this I equals 9. Okay. Let me show you. So in this particular case, for you to get the index as well as the element, okay, you have to use this I as well as L of I. Okay, but then if you somehow miss this values, okay, that is like where if you somehow like make some mistakes with respect to this, okay, so it could you may not be getting the element which you want. Okay, so instead of you having to do this, you can directly get the element as well as the index directly by using this enumerate. So enumerate of L. Okay, so by using this enumerate, you can actually do this. Now for I enumerate of L, if I do this, we just show you what's going to happen. It's going to give you a tuple actually. Okay, so you see here the first element, I mean, it's going to give you index as well as the element. That I as well as L of I, it's going to give you directly. Okay, so that 0, 0, 1, 1. This you can get it directly. Okay, if you want to get the index, then you can just do it like I of 0. Okay, I of 0 is going to give you the index, and the I of 1 it's going to give you the element at that particular index. Okay, so instead of you having to do this for I in range of len of L, or for if you do it in this way for element in L, okay, so if you do it directly, if you do it in this way, you will not be getting you won't be knowing the index at which this element is in. Okay, but instead of this, if you use this enumerate, okay, you can know the index as well as the element, I mean the element value at that particular index itself. Okay, is this clear?
So the last code, why did you write like I equal to 9 at the end? Like what was the purpose?
Yeah, so there the reason for me doing there was I equals 9 thing. The way I expected is like when you change this I value, it's going to jump to this I equals 9 directly, but that did not happen. Okay, so the way I guessed it with respect to for loop, that's wrong. Okay, so what I expected was I equals 0 is going to start, and then since
Directly go to,
I made that I equals 9 case, it's going to jump to the 9th index directly, but that did not happen. Okay.
Here, how
You?
it prints as a tuple?
What?
Can you explain how here it is printing it as the output is we
As
are
a
getting
tuple?
it as a tuple? Yeah.
Because the way this enumerate works is this it's going to enumerate it's going to give you the index as well as the element at that particular index as a tuple. So for example here this here's print L. Okay, you have here the elements in the list are what 0, 1, 16, 81 like that, right? So these are the elements 0, 1, 16, those are the elements. And then the index for 0 is the element 0 is 0, and then for element 1 it's 1, for 16 it's 2. Okay, so the way this enumerate works is it's going to give you the index as well as the element at that particular index directly. So as a tuple. So and then the first element of the tuple is the index, and the second element of the tuple is this element value at that particular index. Okay, that's how you're getting this stuff. Unlike you can do it directly like this also.
The confusion here is we are printing I. We are not
Yeah,
printing.
because the I itself is a tuple there.
Okay.
So since it's a tuple, I can directly do like this also for index comma element in enumerate also I can do. So okay, let me just I'll make it like this only, and then like index comma element is equals to I. Okay. So now let me print index comma element. It's the same thing.
Thank you.
Now you're able to see here 0011. Okay.
Yeah.
Before when you mentioned here for I, okay. So there the I was taking from what when you call it like range of 10 for I in range of 10, I value is going to take from 0 to 9, right? And then let's say like when you just change it to for I in L directly, it's going to take the elements itself. It's going to take the element value. But in this particular case, since you're doing the enumerate, it's going to get the index value as well as the element, that is the at that particular index what the element value is. So you are going to get both the index as well as the element value. Okay. So this is the enumerate method. Then
So if you wanted to use the value or something, then we have to do it like how you did earlier, like for index comma element enumerate. Then use that element value to do. If you want to do something inside the for loop, you can do it like that.
yeah, you can do that. So even here also, instead of me having to write this, I can directly write it like for index comma element in enumerate, and then I can do this. It's going to give me the same output. Yeah, it's going to give the same output. Okay. Since it's a tuple, since the enumerate is going to give a tuple, and then since you know that the tuple has only two elements, you can directly separate it out. The first element goes to index, and then the second element goes to this lm. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we'll take a short break for 5 minutes, and then we'll continue. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, so we'll continue now. So after this, we have to look at like few more methods, I guess. Okay. So what we have to look at, we have to look at this some methods. Okay, so the lambda function we have to look at. Okay, and then we have enumerate, we have seen. Zip we have to look at. Okay. Zip and then map. Yeah, okay.
So we can use these in OPP, right? Like these functions.
Can I repeat?
Can we use this in the OPP exam? Like this
Yeah, you
methods
can,
like
you can
zip
use,
and all that?
yeah, you can use this in OPP exam. That's totally fine.
Okay.
And also, one should have asked out. There won't be any questions on Matplotlib and Pandas library. Yeah, there won't be any questions on Matplotlib or Pandas in the OPP 1 or OPP 2 or N-term. Okay, in the N-term also won't get. Okay, with respect to Matplotlib and the Pandas. Okay. Then now what we look at is we look at the lambda function. Okay, so the lambda function it's just like you're going to here whatever inputs you're going to take, right? So we can just mention that there. So it's like when you're going to add like two variables. So let's say like X,
Just a small doubt. Sorry,
yes,
if I may stop here.
yes.
Actually, in this enumerate function which you used previously, it works only for the list, or even dictionary we can use this function.
Even in the dictionaries. No, in the dictionaries, I don't think we can use it in the dictionaries, but let me try.
Maybe not now, maybe at the end. Maybe you can go with the flow.
Yeah.
What you are doing.
Yeah,
currently.
okay.
Just remember at the end, maybe we can discuss
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so we have add equals lambda. You're taking the values of x and y, and then like let's say you want to do this x for y. Okay. So here and then like you can directly pass values to this. It's like 10, 20. Okay. So 10 power 20. 10 power 20 is a 2 big value, so I just use like 10 power 2. Okay, so you're going to get us 100. Okay. So by default, whatever lambda value, whatever lambda function that I have written, that got converted to the normal function. Okay, so you can just like, I mean, this is just with respect to the this VS Code compiler. It is doing it like this, but whatever I have written like previously, right? That lambda one that works like perfectly fine. Okay, or else I will show that in the replit. Okay, we need not show it in the replit, but the way this lambda function works is you need not have to. If the function is like very small, okay, and then what you're doing is like very basics, like one or two lines, and then like you're returning something, okay. So then you can do, then you can actually use this lambda functions. Okay. So it could either be like how many other inputs you have. So you just have to mention it by separated by comma. Okay, so these are going to be the variables, and then the whatever value you have to return, you have to mention it here. Okay. So in this particular case, if you are going to do this, like if you're going to add x comma y comma z, you can just mention it like this, and then 10 comma 2 comma we start like 100. So this should be 112. Okay. Again when I hit enter, okay, because of my Python compiler, okay, this lambda function, it's going to convert to the function. This lambda value, this lambda function we have written, that's going to convert to the normal function itself. Okay, so that you don't have to worry. Okay, as I told, it got converted, but you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we have here one call. All right, is this clear? This lambda function. Okay, and then we have once this lambda function. Any questions here? In this lambda function, any questions here?
Is it an inbuilt function, lambda?
Yeah. The lambda is a inbuilt function. Yes.
Is there any limitations of the number of variables and the?
No. There's no limitations on the number of variables. The only limitation here is that whatever you write. So what a functional programming. I mean, if you look at it, whatever we are doing it here, we're just doing it in a single line. It has to be written in a single line. That's the only limitation now. Okay, and then it has to be like directly related. Whatever. I mean, the variables you have and then the return value, it should be like directly related. You can't be doing the manipulation in between, just like you do within the function. You cannot be doing it. You just have to using the variables. You just have to have the direct formula to return something. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what.
So the lambda function can be used as a checkpoint kind of thing, sir, in between the big program, whatever it may be.
It's not checkpoint kind of thing. It's just like when you have when you have some small functions which you have to write, right? Instead of you having to do it in a longer way. Okay, using many lines of code, you can just do it in a single line of code. Okay, that's all.
But we can do like float of the output, like we can do all that, right? Like within the lambda function, like if it say like x by y, like
Yeah.
x by y, we can do that, right?
Right. Yeah, you can do it.
Constants can be added or
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, you can.
Return value.
You can do that. You can do anything over here. See, as I told, the only difference here is you have to whatever you write that should be in a single line, and then you have to use the variables, and then you should return it directly. You cannot be having in between steps. Okay, just like you have for function, you cannot have it here. Okay, you have to directly return something by manipulating by using those variables, the input parameters. Okay.
So in this function, actually, we have never mentioned lambda kind of thing. Is it necessary?
Yeah, actually, yes. Okay, so here, this, okay. By default, when I hit on save or run, right? So this VS Code, it's going to convert this lambda function to actual function kind of thing. And I mean, like this is a syntax, right? So for example, if I run this, it has actually given a similar function kind of thing. Okay, so that's the only difference. This is with respect to my VS Code compiler. Okay, it's not the issue with respect to the lambda function. This is still a lambda function, but then my VS Code has converted it to a similar function kind of thing. Okay. Clear?
Right. If you are trying in our replit kind of thing.
Something, yeah, you replit or something, then it's going to work fine normally itself. Okay. Even this, I should be able to change it in settings somewhere. Okay. Okay. So this with respect to the lambda function, then we have something like zip. Okay. So
Sir?
Yes.
So in lambda function, can we convert the data type also, or we can use it only for the mathematical operation?
You can still convert it. So for example, let me just write one lambda function, add equals to, okay, so lambda. I'm going to take variables, okay, which are strings. Okay. So by default, since I have strings, I can do this int of x. Yes. Right. Okay. So now when I pass this print arrow, okay, when I'm passing it, I can pass it as a string actually. Here. Okay. again here, once I hit run, this is going to get converted to the equivalent function value. But let me just run this. Okay, you got your 579. Okay, you can still convert to the data type. Like you can still do the conversion part. Okay, you can do anything. You can do anything, but then the only thing is that, as I told, whatever values you're taking, okay, you should be able to return something out of it directly within a single line. Okay.
So we can do that with strings also, like concatenate if we are
Yeah,
not changing.
yeah, we can do
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
we can do that. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So this with respect to the lambda function. Any doubts here in the lambda functions?
So one thing I want to ask, I mean, when I'm trying it to run in Colab, the output is giving me a path, like an object. So how to
Yeah.
get the proper output?
So for you to get the proper output, you should be calling it. In this particular case, I called it, right. Add of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, sir. But let's say I'm taking a user input. That means I'm taking input from the user, and then I'm printing as print add x comma y. Let's say my inputs are x and y.
Okay.
So in such cases, I'm still getting such a way. I don't know why. Maybe it's a error from Colab side, or maybe I don't know. Just I'm asking.
Okay. So let me just create some developer and then I'll try it. Okay. We'll do that at the end. All right. So
Okay, sir,
yeah,
no problem.
we'll move forward, but then like we'll discuss your doubt. Okay. So
Okay, sir, no
then
problem.
we have, yeah, and there's something called zip. Okay. So it's called like high for I in range of 10. Like this will be something like start in range of 10. Okay. So this has the this has 10 elements, and then the listed L also has a 10 elements. Now we can combine at the same index the elements. Okay, so using the zip, so what we can do is okay, and then we can actually pass it to a particular function. So like L equals to something like zip of comma m. Okay, so now we are zipping it. Okay, now let me just print L. Okay, it's going to give me something like it is a zip object. Okay, but the zip object, okay, since as I told, it's going to combine the similar elements. When I mean by combine, it just like makes it as a tuple kind of. Okay, so the zip value I can convert it to a list. Okay, so when I convert it to a list, it's going to give it like the similar index element. It's going to give it as a tuple. Okay, so you could see here this 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. Okay, so we are able to generate a tuple there. Okay, so it has zipped the L as well as the M. Okay, so in each and every element in this particular list, the first element goes to the L, and then the second element goes to the M. Okay, so in this particular case, you could see here this 9 comma 81. This 9 belongs to the L list, and then 81 belongs to the second list. Okay, so this zip value you can convert to dictionary also. When you convert it to dictionary, it's going to give it like the key value pair, where the key is going to belong to the first list L, and then the value is going to be for second list. So let me just run this and show you. You could see here. Okay, so it's going to generate this dictionary. Okay, where the keys are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on 9, and then the values are going to be the 0, 1, 4, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, and so on 9 square. Okay, is this clear? Okay, then what?
So can we use sort function also in this one, sir? In zip kind of thing.
In the zip,
haphazardous kind of thing, can we use sort?
We cannot be doing that respectful here, right? So, but the other way we could do is something
You
like,
have to do this sort first, then zip it. Right?
yeah,
Like,
you first have to do the sort, right? So all that zip does is it actually comments the same similar index elements. That's it. Okay.
we had
Similar
one problem like
Like for
indexes
example,
from
yeah,
one list, and yeah, we had one problem like that, like
okay. You
like
see here
sort
the
the two
first,
lists and then make a pair of them, like so we can directly do that with zip. Yeah.
yep.
Sir, similar index method means the total in the both of these lists, the uh, elements should be equal, sir. You meant to say?
Yeah. The size should be equal, yes. Okay. So let me,
Sir,
yeah.
could you please print after zip? Means without dictionary.
Without dictionary, if I just print this, it's just going to give me, it is some zip object. That's it. Okay. But I can do
Why,
this.
sir?
What?
Means why it is not giving zip of both the things?
Yeah, it does not. So like that is just a iterable object. Okay. So but what I can do is I can do for I comma j in L, I can print I comma j. Okay. So let me just show you this.
Okay.
So you can do, okay, so here you're seeing it here, right? So it has zipped it, okay, it has zipped it, and then like it is going to, you're able to iterate through it. Okay, so you're able to print here 0 0 1 1 2 4 4 16. Okay, so this first element here belongs to the list L, second element belongs to the list L. All right.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
But what's the application where we should go?
It's like totally up to you. So for example, let's say the first list has the keys, and then the second list has the values. You have to make a dictionary out of it. You can directly do it like zip and then like convert it to dictionary directly in a single line. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the applications are, it depends upon case to case. All right. Okay. So then what we have to look at, lambda is done, zip is done. Then we have to look at map. Yeah. Okay. So the way this map is going to work is it's going to give you like okay, find add or something. Okay. It's going to be a comma b, and then you're just going to return a plus b. Okay, and then you have a list same I for I in range of n. Okay, then it's like you have some other list like I star 2. Okay. Same thing what we have done previously. You want to do this addition operation for all the elements in the list. For the respective elements. Okay, L and M. Okay, the way you can do it is you can use the map here. Okay, something like the result equals to map of. Okay, you're mapping the add function with respect to the list. Okay, two lists. Okay, so you print result now. You can convert it to a list. Okay. See it here, right? We are able to add those particular values actually. So this same thing, you print L and M to show you clearly. Okay, so the first list is 0 1 2 9, and then the second list is 0 1 4 9 16 and so on. Okay, when we are done this map add L comma M, what we are doing is for each and every element in the list L, and then for each and every element in the list M, okay, we are mapping it to this function add, which requires just the integers a and b, okay, and then since this output, it's going to be this map object again, okay, that we are going to convert to the list, okay, and then the output is going to be this, okay. We added the respective elements 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 4 6, 3 plus 9 12, and so on, 9 plus 81 90. Okay, it's going to map the function, okay, it is mapping the function with respect to this list. All right, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now this map is
So we
Yeah.
can, I think I've done it like map, we can like use it to like take inputs from the user and assign it to a list also, right? Like here, if we, it doesn't always have to be like this way, right? Like define the function, we can define anything there, right? Instead of add, like if we put it int and put a list and like assign it to another list, then every element will be taken the int of that element and it will be assigned. We can do it that way, use it for that also, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to follow. So you're going to take the input where?
Like say like I'm
It-
creating a list L, list of
Okay.
map of int of like and some other list, some
List of
other-
map of int of.
int comma like the other list name, like something, then that will convert the whole list.
Yeah.
into-
We can do
that way also, right?
Yeah. So for example, when you have here, so let's say you are going to equals to input, okay, try in range of n, okay. So here basically what you're doing is you're taking 10 inputs from user, okay, and then like since you know the input is going to be a string, okay, so you can convert this, you can convert each and every element in the list to a string like this by using this map int and then L. So basically in this particular case what you're doing is you're doing int of each and every element. We can do that. Okay, so it is asking me for input. I give some random inputs, but I have to give integer. If I don't give integer, it's going to throw an error. 900, 200, 999, 007. So then we have like 1, 899. Okay, so now whatever values I got, okay. Previously that list it should have been a string, but then I converted that each and every element to an integer, okay, by using this map on in with respect to this list. You can do that, okay. Clear? That can be done.
Sir, please show the inputs.
Yeah, these are the inputs. So whatever I have entered here, right? So this 900, 200, 999 and so on.
Okay.
Or for example, let's say you want to do it like this. You can just take MES directly like this, like 90. Here you can explicitly see that there are strings. 300, 100, like that. Okay. Now I'm doing this result as I'm converting the list M into integer, each and every element in the list M to an integer. Okay. It's asking me for input. 1 second. Okay, yeah, you could see here, right? Got here 90, 33, 500. Okay. We can directly convert, like here, what we're basically doing is we are applying this int function to each and every element in the list here. Okay. That's what we are doing there. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
so
in the input, the L1, how it was working? Can you
this
repeat? Yes.
here
Input for
previously,
I in range of 10. So you are
It's like, okay, so previously what we had done, I have done for I for I in range of 10, right? So it has created a list of first 10 natural numbers, correct? So instead of me creating, I mean, me directly creating it, here I'm just asking from the user. So input, I'm asking input for I in range of 10. So basically, I'm going to ask input 10 times, okay? And each and every input that's going to get stored in this list here, okay?
okay.
Yeah, so that's what is happening there in the first line, that list.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
this will be just next line input, right? Means 1 in the next line, 2 in the next
Yeah.
line, 3. It will take.
Yeah.
But if I have a comma separated input, then how I can get?
See, if you have a comma separated one, then you cannot be using the for loop. Okay, so then you just have to okay, so you can
So
you
we,
just have to do that input
so
dot
we,
split.
We can directly
so we can
put
use
it
that
inside.
in the result, right? I mean, the result line that you have written over there, third line, int comma input dot split, and then the split parameter we can give either space or comma, isn't it?
Okay, so what you mentioning here is
So in the third line, in the result part over there, I was saying.
yeah. About what you're trying to say. Doing this input dot split, right? Yeah, we could do that split based on comma. And then like, see this input dot split, that's going to generate a list like this, like the list M, okay? And then that for that you can apply the integer, correct? So this will work. Now let me run this. I'll give the input as something like 90, 50, 3, 6, and like, okay. And this has created me the list, okay? All right. Is this okay?
Yes, got it, sir.
Okay. So the map is done. Then what else is left? We have done the map. Zip is done. Okay, yeah. So that's it, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So
for the L is equals to user input, something like that. You just deleted it. So for I in range of 10, can you explain it? Like, how are we giving the inputs for that?
okay. So here x, okay, x for 1. Let me write it like this: 1 for I in range of 10. Okay. So in this particular case, what's going to happen is it's going to create a list for me of ones, list of ones. Okay. And how many elements are going to be there? It's going to be 10 elements. Okay.
Okay.
It's actually similar to like L equals to empty list, and then for I in range of 10, I'm doing this L dot append 1. Okay. So this is exactly similar. Okay. Now instead of me doing that, okay, if I do this input, the same thing is going to happen. The loop is going to run 10 times, and then each and every time I'm going to ask input from user. This is similar to for I in range of 10, L dot append of input. Okay.
Okay, sir.
What is happening? Okay. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Much clear.
Okay. So yeah, now we look at the practice assignment. Okay. What is the exception raised by the following snippet of code? Assume that this is standalone piece of code. For x in range of n, if x percent is n equals 0, print x. Okay, so here you are asking what? for x in range of n. Okay, so this is a standalone piece of code. Okay, so first thing, what is this n? N is not defined. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to be this name error. Okay, since this is standalone piece of code, n is not defined there. Okay, so it's going to throw me this name error. All right, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we have L is some non-empty list that has already been defined. Here they clearly mention L is already defined. What is the exception raised by following snippet of code? Flag is true for I in range of len of L until that is okay. If L of I is greater than L of I plus 1. Okay. So here what's going to be the error here?
Index error, sir.
Yeah, because when you have here len of L, okay, for I in range of len of L, you can't do this I plus 1. Okay, so for I equals to n minus 1, okay, that considering L as the number of elements as n, it can't give you L of n. Okay, so the L of n, that's going to be the index out of range. Okay, so index out of range, so that's going to be this index error. Okay, clear? Let's say like if it has something like L of I minus 1, then it would have worked fine. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the exception raised by following snippet of code? Print int of 1.2. Here, what's going to be the error?
Value error.
It's going to be value error. We didn't discuss this, but then no, we're not going to ask these kinds of questions. It's just for like information sake. Okay. Here 1.2 is a float. Okay. And it is as a string. Okay. So and when you have a string float, you can convert that to float, and then like from float you can convert to integer. But a string float cannot be directly converted to the integer. Okay. Clear? A string float can be converted to float, and from float you can convert to integer, but not directly. Then you have what is of exception raised by the following snippet of code. You have a dictionary. Words you have good, great. Okay, some list of words. For word in words, d of word equals to len of word. Yeah, so print d of gifts. Okay, so in this particular case, you see here until this line number 4, it's all right. Okay, so for you to print this d of gifts, okay, that gift should be one of the key, right? And then which means what are the keys for this particular dictionary? Each and every word in word. So each and every word here, that's going to be the key. And there is no key called gifts. There's a key called gift, but gifts is not there. Okay, so it's going to be the key error. All right. Clear there? Fourth question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you know what is the exception raised by following snippet of code. You have a set, S equals set you have for x in range of 1 to 101. If x percentage 3 is equal 0, s dot append x. So here the problem is this is going to be
Attribute error.
Yeah. We talked about this attribute error previously. We got that, remember, when you do that c dot append, there c is an integer. For integer there is no this attribute called append. So here s is a set here, and for set there is no attribute called append. You have add is there. Okay, add is okay, but append is not okay. All right, so that's why you have this attribute error. So you should be able to identify these kinds of mistakes, and then like even while you're coding, you should be able to find those mistakes. Okay.
This one comes under mutable and unmutable kind of thing, concept, sir.
Which one?
This set mutable, unmutable. So the error will automatically raise because we are using append.
Yeah, here set is like immutable one, and then like you have here this append here, right? So that append that's for this mutable list. Okay. So this for set which is like immutable one, you have add function. Okay. And this is going to be the attribute error. Yeah. Then moving on, this exception raised by the following snippet of code. Define rectangles. Pairs you have. Pairs is an empty list. For x in range of 1 to n plus 1, if n percentage x equals 0. Okay, so here you see here this x is not defined there. Okay, up until this point, okay, there is no x that is defined, and then like you're directly using some variable which is not defined. Okay, so that's going to be what? It's not going to be type error. It's not index error. It's not algorithm. Okay, surely this. Okay, sorry, sir. For x in range of right. Okay. So this x value is going to be
Type error.
Yeah. So let me just look at this. Until this fourth line, it's okay. Base dot append of x comma n divided by x. Okay, you're appending the tuple there. The pairs is a list, so you can append it. That is okay. And then you have 10% x equals 0. Then you are going to do this n divided by x, right? Okay, that can be done. For a comma b in rectangles of 100, print a comma b. The program is going to be error free, right? How come it's type error? The program is going
For
to be
a comma b in rectangles, that is my actually concern. Oh, rectangles is a function. Okay, it's getting called. Okay, yeah.
actually, yeah, it's going to be type error, correct? Because the rectangles is going to be okay. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so the rectangles of 100, that's going to be list. Okay, and then each and every element in a list is going to be a tuple which has 2 elements.
So it has to be enumerate.
Yeah. I mean, without you having to mention it as like enumerate also, you can directly get this. See, it's like if you have 2 elements, let me just show you here. The enumerate is different. Okay, the enumerate is like when the
So we lost your screen.
yeah.
This is just taking 2 elements from the list. The other one, we are taking the index also.
Correct. So here in this particular case, we are not taking the index. For example, let me show you here. For a comma b in L, okay, int a comma b. This is exactly what they are doing there. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so here each and every element, there are like 2 elements in the list. Okay, so the each and every element is a tuple. Okay, and then that tuple has 2 elements, so we can directly do this a comma b. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
And then this is exactly what's happening here. So here this append, right? So each and every element in this particular list, it's a tuple. It's a tuple which is of 2 elements. That's why you're doing for a comma p in rectangles of 100. Okay, so it's going to be the program is going to be error free. Okay,
Sir,
yeah.
could you please just give me some, revise concept of pairs?
Here this pairs is here pairs is nothing. Pairs is a list. Okay, that's it. Okay. Pairs, you do not have any concept of pairs. Here pairs is a list that is like created. It's a variable.
Okay.
We have created. Okay. Yeah. Okay, moving on. How many more questions we have? Okay. 2 more questions. Okay. So we have, what is the output of following snippet of code? We have the dictionary, mom true, dad true, Malayalam true, work false. And then you have mom dot non-work. Okay, for word in L. Okay, this is the word. Okay. Try if d of word. Okay. So here what we're trying to see is we are trying to check this d of word. If the word is not there in this d, right? That means if the word is not a key in the D dictionary, then it's going to throw an error. Okay. If d of word, print this is a palindrome, else print this is not a palindrome. Okay. Then here what we're checking is, and then except this key is not present. So the output is going to be mom key is going to be there. Okay, mom first word is there is mom, right? Mom key is there, and then for this particular mom key, the output is true. Okay, d of word is going to be true. Okay, since d of word is true, it's going to print this is a palindrome. And then for dad also, for dad it's true. Okay, so then for second case also it's going to print this is a palindrome. Then for third case Malayalam, okay, for Malayalam also, okay. here, since we are looping with respect to the list L, the third case is going to be the non, okay, non. And then this non, d of word, d of non is not there, because non is not a key in this particular dictionary. So that's why it's going to go to this except, okay, and then it's going to throw what? The key is not present in the dictionary, okay. So the output is going to be the third one, okay. And then once
Sir, work was also there in the list. So the last output would be, this is not a palindrome.
see, once it has gone to the except block, it won't go to the try block again.
The iteration, come out of the iteration.
Okay, yeah.
It's 4, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's going to be this fourth one. Okay. Yeah. For this particular word, it's going to go to except, and then for the next word, it's going to go to the correct. Okay. It's going to be the work is not going to a palindrome, so for work, it's going to be this not a palindrome. Okay. Clear? This?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Sir, got it.
We are not sure. Okay, so we are not sure if the file.txt exists in the current dictionary. Select all the free implementations of a program that reads this file and prints one line of the file at a time. If the file does not exist, the code should terminate gracefully. When I mean by graceful, what they mean by graceful is like without an error. Okay, so it should not go through like without an error. Okay, then try f equals to open that file of txt. Since we know that the file may not be there, that's why we are putting that in the try block. That is okay. That reads this file and prints the one line of the file at a time. Okay, so it should print one line at a time. Right? So the first one is okay. For line in F, print line dot strip. That is okay. Except if it has been this file not found error, then we should do this. The file does not exist. So the first option is okay. So second option is going to be this open file for line in F. So what's the difference between this first option and second option? Except okay. So even this second one is also okay, because except file not allowed or in the except, either way it is okay. Okay, because the only worst case scenario could be this file not found error. Okay, so either you write it like this, or you write it in the general except also. That works totally fine. So the first option, second option are totally okay. Then when we go to third option, in the third option they mention this value error. Okay, so when the file does not exist, it's not going to give you value error. Okay, so the third option is not correct. Then we go for this last option. The last option is totally fine. Okay, so file not found error. If it has been this file not found error, then we will go for this file does not exist. Okay, and then if it has been the other error, then it's going to be some other errors. Okay, so except for this third option, because we know that the only error that could happen is this file not found error, and they did not mention that particular case. They mentioned a separate case, different case. So the third option is incorrect. The remaining all are okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the last one, what is output of following snippet of code? Define quotient a comma p, try q equals to a quotient with respect to b, and then return q, except type error cannot divide strings. Okay, except zero division error. Okay, so division by zero is not allowed, even this is not allowed. Finally, I'll always be executed. So this basically means, it doesn't matter when this both will be executed or not, this will always be executed. Okay, so x equals to quotient of 10,5. Okay, so for this particular case, what's going to happen? This type error is going to come up, and then this panel is also going to come up. The output is going to be cannot divide strings. I will always be executed. That is going to be the one, and then the quotient of 10,0, it's going to be zero division error. Division by zero is not allowed, and I will always be executed. Okay, and then we have what? Third case is 10,5. Return q. We're just going to return q, right? So x equals to quotient of 10,5. Okay, and then you're going to print this. I will always be executed. Then 10 coefficient with respect to 5 is what? 2, right? Okay, so it's going to be this one. Okay, it's going to be this option. All right. Is this clear?
So
So please repeat.
Yeah. Okay. So when you're having this try except finally block, the finally block will always execute. Doesn't matter when the if the try got executed or this except got executed. Okay. Even if there is no error, also this finally will always execute. Okay. Now by looking at it, when you're going to call this x equals to coefficient of 10, 5, and then this three times you're calling this function, right? So those 3 times this I will always be executed. That line will execute always. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to remember. This I will always be executed should be printed 3 times. Okay, and then for the first case 10, 5. Okay, these are this 10 and 5, there are strings, right? So and then the error is going to be type error. Okay, so first it should print cannot divide strings, and then it's going to print I will always be executed. Okay. And then for second case 10, 0, that's going to be 0 division error. Okay, so it's going to print division. It should be printing division by 0 is not allowed, and then it should be printing I will always be executed. Okay.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all we have, and then we have this practice assignment 2 also. Okay, that we'll discuss in the next session. Okay, so maybe we look at the before we do the OPP revision or such. Okay, we'll look at this practice assignment 2, and then we'll move on to the OPP revision. Okay.
So one doubt.
Yeah.
We have this merge function, right? Like where we merge like multiple lists. I've seen like we have to import like heap queues library called
merge function.
Yeah.
merge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heap dot merge queue. Like, is there another way? Like we cannot import libraries. Is there another way? Like without importing, we can do that. Like multiple.
You cannot be importing library, and then like when you mean by merge, do you mean it like you're combining 2 lists?
Yeah, multiple lists.
Okay. Equals something like.
Yeah.
You just want to do this L equals to L plus M, right?
Yeah, concurrent. Yeah.
Do it like this, right?
Okay. Okay.
It's totally fine.
That will directly concatenate.
It's directly going to concatenate. Okay, so the concatenation always works. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. So. Yeah.
So can you once revise the index error? I'm unable to recall it. Just a bit.
Okay. So let's say I have here list, right? I have a list of like 1, 2, 3. Let me try to print L of 3. Third index is not this. So
Okay.
0, 1, 2, 3. In this case, it's going to give us index error. List index out of range. Okay.
Right. Okay, sir.
Okay. So if there are no other questions, then we can close the session. Okay. So thanks.
I think merge, like the difference in merge is like it sorts the list also directly. I think.
Yeah, then what you can do is you can just do it like L equals to L dot sort plus M dot sort. You can do that.
Okay, yeah.
And then like
sort. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions? Okay then. So thanks everyone.